Welcome, Hattiesburg, and a good day to all our listeners. This is Abby, your host for Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. I'm here to bring you updates, news, and more from our community. To add to all the excitement, we have Mississippi Moments with Clara Watson and a news wrap with Nish Nico to ensure you're up to date with the hottest topics. And guess what? We have some very special guests for you, Keenan Walker. You definitely want to stay tuned for what they have to share with us today. But before we jump into all the fun, here's a quick message from our sponsors. So hang tight, we'll be right back with more Southern Miss. Did I get your last name right?
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277, and the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest.
Welcome back. In campus news, on Thursday there will be an opening of the Honors College Student Exhibit. University Library Special Collections is hosting an opening for exhibits curated by Honors College students. The opening will be held at 11 a.m. Thursday, November 7th in McCain Library Archives, room 305. The event features exhibits curated by sophomore Honor College students as part of their seminar course, Einstein, Civil War Nutrition and Cults, Explore Archival Collections and Research, which focuses on active learning experiences in special collections taught by Jennifer Branduck, a curator in the University Library Special Collections. The students are learning about archival and special collections research while getting hands-on experience with materials found in the library's collections. The exhibit includes 7 one-case exhibit highlights that varied materials found in special collections. The exhibit will be available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in McCain Library and Archives Room 305 from November 7th, 2024 to May 31st, 2025. The opening is free and light refreshments will be served. Also in campus news, a renowned champion for environmental justice whose story inspired an award-winning film will be a presenter for a concluding program of the Fall 2024 University Forum scheduled at University of Southern Mississippi. Aaron Brockovich, whose pursuit of justice for residents of Hinckley, California, exposed to 30 years of Pacific Gas and Electric's contamination of the town's water supply, led to her portrayal by actress Julia Roberts in the movie Aaron Brockovich. We'll discuss America and Mississippi's water crisis Tuesday, November 12th at 6:30 p.m. in Bennett Auditorium on the Hattiesburg campus. Admission is free and the public is invited. Brockovich continues to advocate for environmental justice, raising awareness about water safety and pollution issues across the country, making her a prominent figure in fight against corporate environmental negligence. In Hattiesburg news, a family with a love for the arts created a home for sorts of arts with Southern roots. The family created Prospect Gallery in downtown Hattiesburg on Main Street. According to gallery curator Rachel Schwartz, her brother David Schemper is the founder and renovator of Prospect on Main. Prospect on Main is a historic building that houses Prospect Gallery. Schwartz is inviting everyone to see Saturday the debut exhibit of another brother, Adam Schemper. The exhibition is titled Adam Schemper, Light in These Hills. Schwartz said that this is the first of rotating, time-limiting exhibits from artists in the South or with Southern roots. Schwartz says she wants the public to come to the opening to help support and grow the vibrant arts community. The exhibit will be open from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday at Prospect Gallery, 522 Main Street, Hattiesburg. In Mississippi news, on Saturday, the Mississippi Gulf Coast Sister Solidarity, MGCSS, organization and dozens of other women marched throughout Ocean Springs and along the Biloxi Bay Bridge. The group voiced their support for women's rights with signs held high and their voices even higher. The march followed a national trend with millions of women, men, and organizations marching nationwide in order to highlight the feminist movement. Women like Quaff say that many women's rights are on the line, one of which being reproductive rights. Sullivan is a veteran, and she says that she's been marching since high school and understands the importance of marches, such as this one, after witnessing things change over time. That's your news update for Southern Miss Today. Next, we'll have the latest in sports and weather, so stay tuned. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Welcome back with our action-packed sports segment. Let's dive into the latest scores, highlights, and sports. Get your jerseys on because it's game time. Our next football game will be against Marshall this Saturday, November 9th. Go Eagles! On Thursday, November 5th, the women's basketball team will be playing against Blue Mountain Christian at Reed Green Coliseum. The women's volleyball team will be playing against Troy at Southern Miss Wellness Center. Also on Thursday, the men's basketball team will be playing against the University of Alabama in Birmingham. On Friday, November 6th, the men and women's tennis teams will be at the UTR College Circuit. The women's volleyball team will also be playing against Troy once again. Head to southernmiss.com to keep up with all the Golden Eagles sports activities. As for weather today, look for a low of 66 with a 40% chance of rain and a high of 85. The feels like for today is 65 to 85 degrees. Tomorrow, look for a low of 68 and a high of 85 with a 65% chance of rain. Tomorrow's feels like is 71 to 88 degrees. Up next, we have Mississippi Moments produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage with Clara Watson recalling all of the black vendors in Biloxi before the Civil Rights Movement. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. Before the Civil Rights Movement, black customers were often turned away from white-owned businesses. Clara Watson recalls the large number of black vendors and business owners in her Biloxi neighborhood.
At the time growing up in Biloxi, I remember the peanut man that used to come down the street and he'd say, "Hey, you kids, stop playing in the sand. Run in the house and tell your mama, here come the peanut man." And he'd walk around with this big basket with peanuts in it. And he used to roast them behind his house. And then we had the fish man who would come down, and Mr. Baptiste. And he'd come down the street every Friday. You knew he was going to have fish. And he would say, sell you a whole string of fish for 25 cents. The first two cook shops were on Railroad Street. Back then they called them cook shops. That was where they prepared the food and people would come in and eat. There was the barber shop, the beauty shop, restaurants, nightclubs. We had our skating ring. We had a movie theater. I think blacks owned a lot of businesses here in Biloxi.
Bill Ellison hosts Voices of Our People World War II, a new podcast from Mississippi Moments, sponsored by the Mississippi Humanities Council. That's Voices of Our People World War II, wherever you get your podcasts.
Awesome. That was your Mississippi Moment for today. Coming up, we have the pleasure of hearing from Keenan Walker.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Put a frog in boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in cool water and slowly heat it up, that frog will boil. As veterans, we tell ourselves the lie that we can handle anything. We let the water boil. You are not a frog. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Now please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Keenan. How are you?
I'm great, and yourself?
I'm awesome, thank you. Could you introduce yourself and tell everyone a bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Keenan Walker. For those of you who know me, probably associate me with the Spectrum Center, but today I'm here representing my actual job, Mississippi Votes. It's a nonprofit where we are working to build voter engagement across the state.
Awesome.
So I'm here to remind everyone that it is election day and you need to vote. go out and vote. If you are a student who did not have a chance to update your address, you have the ability to vote affidavit in town. You have to follow up with your circuit clerk from your county within 5 days to make sure your ballot was cured and accepted. If you want to ensure that your ballot is accepted, you have until 7 p.m. to get home and vote. If you are in line at 7 p.m., they cannot ask you to leave. You were there on time, and you can wait and vote. Let's see. And when you get there, wait until you get outside to take your selfie with your sticker. Don't do it behind the polls, but you can take a sample ballot with you behind the polls. So like myself, I tend to forget names, and I'm trying to do quick Googles before I actually vote. But if you take your sample ballot that you've used to do your research, you can take it behind the polls and make sure that you're voting for the people that you want to vote for.
Awesome. Yeah, please do not do anything illegal. That would actually be awful. For people who are out of state, like you mentioned, the circuit, could you explain any more that you know of for people that are like here for school and don't entirely know that process?
So if you are not registered to vote, you don't have a Mississippi ID, you can, and say you're not able to drive, so you can't get a driver's license, you can still get a Mississippi state ID. You'll be living on campus. You're a resident, so you can go get your ID, or you can go to the circuit clerk's office and get a voter ID. Those are typically free, and they'll mail it to you, and you can use that to vote. Once you have that ID, go ahead and get registered to vote, and they'll send you your voter registration card in the mail.
Okay, awesome. Could you talk a little bit about you mentioned that you were here before for the Spectrum Center thing. I think you were wearing your voters, we were talking about it, that you were wearing your, the voters shirt. Cause I was like, I don't remember. Why would I remember?
Some awesome shirts.
I don't know. But could you explain more of what you do for people that may be interested?
Yeah, I am the regional field organizer. So I work within 23 counties from Wayne to Wilkinson in Mississippi. So I go out and try to build community engagement and draw in new volunteers and people that are interested in the civic process. So we have poll monitors working across the state to ensure the security of the democratic process, and part of those relationships are built while we're out in the communities building those relationships.
Okay, awesome. And you did mention beforehand that there may or may not be someone coming. Do they also work with you?
No.
They were here last time, so I wasn't 100% sure. I was just curious. How did you get into working the voter? I don't even know what it's called. The Mississippi Votes, yes. How did you get into that?
I started following them on Instagram, and when they were hiring and looking for someone in this area, I jumped on it. I've been involved in the community for a long time, and I just was looking for another way to grow my activism. And, working with Mississippi Votes has really been affirming for me.
So it's like y'all go out and make sure people feel comfortable about voting?
We do voter registration, we do voter education, and we do voter mobilization.
Okay.
So any kind of events that we can use to help people get excited about voting. We did a voter rally this past Saturday, and we had about 10 or 15 people show up with signs and got all the honks from the people driving by, just reminding them to vote.
Awesome. We did have someone on here a while ago, actually. It was a good while ago. I do not remember when that was, but she was talking about doing a register to vote through the school thing if you are not from here. I wish I could remember her name. I'm going to be so honest. I don't. But I've noticed there's a lot of opportunities for people to get involved with voting because it is very, very important.
Yes.
Some people can't for multiple reasons, but if you can, please do.
Yes.
Let's see. Can we think of anything else for this? This is a interesting topic because it's really hard to not be like biased and like start talking about specific stuff, and so it's very hard to.
Well, if you start going one way, I'll remind you, Mississippi Votes is a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization.
Perfect. I am going to be very careful. I'm not going to go anyway. That's just making it very hard to
But
come
what
up with topics.
we can end it with our voter hotline.
Okay.
So if you're experiencing any issues at the polls, the lines are excessively long, they open late, close early, they run out of ballots, the building isn't ADA accessible, there's not signage that people could recognize that is a voting precinct, you can call our voter hotline. It is 1-833-MSV-4321 or 1-833-678-4321. And you can report those issues. We hand them over to our attorneys, and those issues get handled.
Okay, awesome. To finish up, even though there's a lot of time left, sorry guys. To finish up, if anyone's interested in the Mississippi Votes thing,
Yeah, you can reach us on Instagram or Facebook. You can email info@msvotes.org, and they will route that information over to us, and we'll reach out. And we're constantly looking for volunteers. Outside of poll monitoring, we have text banking and canvassing and phone banking. So if you want to make some cold calls, we can take care of it, and you can get service hours for it.
do y'all just do presidential? Well, you probably don't do just presidential. You probably do the other elections.
Yes, Mississippi has elections every year, and it's about voting in every election every time.
Are y'all doing stuff like constantly, like year round? I didn't even know there were that many elections. I'm gonna be so honest.
Yep, every year there's something.
I was curious because I don't know. I don't know how to think about it. Well, thank you for coming today. Is there anything else you'd like to add on? Would you like to reiterate the
hotline?
Yes.
Yes. Again, if you have any issues, please give us a call at 1-833-678-4321.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Coming up, we've got Nishranika with the new sensory room for the computer science building.
For Southern Miss Student Media, I'm Nishranika. Sometimes when I'm overwhelmed, I just want to stay in a quiet room with calming lights and a weighted blanket. And while I can do that on campus, computer science majors will soon be able to. The School of Computing Sciences and Computing Engineering is now opening a new sensory room to help promote socialization and productivity among neurodivergent students. The department noticed that neurodivergent students often found it difficult to navigate the sensory-rich environment of college. Dr. Liz McGowan explains the purpose of the room.
So the room was originally created to give neurodiverse students within the computing science and computer engineering space to go if they, were experiencing sensory overload or, needed somewhere quiet or, if they were anxiety or having issues like that. So
the room will be equipped with a range of sensory tools like weighted blankets, noise-canceling headphones, fidget toys, and calming lighting. Jessica Hillman, the assistant to the director of the USM School of Computing Sciences, explains that the room was made to help students manage anxiety and stress and foster social skills.
And I think the goals were, you couldn't say it better than this, the primary goal of this project is to create a sensory room that caters to the unique needs of the neurodiverse students. And our objectives are reducing the stress and anxiety, regulating sensory input, improving focus and attention, and fostering the development of social skills and relationships. I think that's key.
Students also seem excited about the room. Stephen Josie, a computer science major, expresses his views on the topic.
Having a sensory room would definitely help the students. It will especially help the individuals who have ADHD or who have problem focusing. And these days, like, distractions can bother us a lot. So having a room dedicated, having a room that helps us focus will definitely be a plus to the department.
I wish chemistry department would do that, but I will have to take care of my chemicals-induced headaches at home for now. For Southern Miss Student Media, I'm Nishranika.
Thank you for listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. We are thankful for Seb Hodgins, our audio engineer, and Michaela Williams, our film producer, for keeping this bird soaring. We especially want to thank our program director, Shania Williams, our executive producer, Oari, our assistant producer, Adeline Fields, and our general manager, Dr. Martin, as well as our lovely guest today. That's all for today on Southern Miss Radio. Thank you for listening. Remember, fly, Eagle, fly. I'm your host, Abby Buzigard, signing off. Stay creepy. Also, go vote.
Sponsorship comes from Southern Beverage, your local Michelob Ultra distributor. Michelob Ultra has significantly fewer carbs and calories per serving if you are watching those in your diet. You can reach Southern Beverage by phone at 601-268-9111 or you can find them on the internet at southernbeverage.com. Anheuser-Busch St. Louis